Geez, will this thing not go live?
Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken and Ken take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars in the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in their voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken and Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. We live and love that break in the mind. Ken and the bold. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're a force can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. Welcome to the Friday morning edition of Ken and Ken in the Morning. There's Ken, there's Joe, and Fred's in the comments already. It looks like a regular Friday to me.
Safe.
Oh, and X seems to be down this morning.
That's how my morning's fucking going. The fucking old lady's on her way to work, got fucking lost because they shut down one of the bridges to get to the fucking highway with no detour. She's not from this fucking area. So I'm sitting here trying to find fucking ways to fucking get her fucking going. Oh my, it's been a fun morning, guys. That's on top of, we almost didn't have a Ken here for the show last night. I got caught in the worst snowstorm I've ever driven in. You literally couldn't even see the fucking ditches to keep it between the ditches.
Hey, Joe.
I'll give you a tip for that. Like when I was in Vermont, I had to drive from Burlington all the way back to Northfield. It was like an hour in a freaking blizzard. And so what I did was I just stayed in the tire tracks of the car in front of me.
I wish I could do that. There were no tire tracks.
Oh.
Yeah, because I
if
had
there
that
are
idea.
tire tracks, that's that's all I could do was just like I could barely make out the tire tracks of the car in front of me. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay in those, dude. Like,
well, I just white knuckled it and said, well, hopefully God lets me get through this bitch because I can't see.
That's that good old northeastern weather for you.
Yep.
Here's what I think is funny. Here we have a guy from upstate New York saying how he has a hard time driving in the snow.
No. The one time. Every other time, as long as I can see the ditches, you can keep that bitch between the ditches, and you can drive normally damn near at that point. But when I can't see any marker of where the fuck that road is, fuck all of that.
Dude, you don't know how many people when I first got to Vermont, you don't know how many people I saw spin off into ditches, dude. Like, it's dangerous stuff, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like my first week there, I almost spun. Like I ended up almost going into a guardrail on the side of the road, and not because I was driving a Ford Edge. It was a 2-wheel drive. I was like, fuck that. We're trading this thing in today. So that's why I drove to Burlington, was to go look to the dealerships and go look for a 4-wheel drive truck. And then I didn't get approved, so I had to drive in the 2-wheel drive all the way back through the blizzard, dude. And then the next day I went to another dealership and I got the Tundra, and the Toyota Tundra. Let me tell you, it's a fantastic truck for anyone who's interested in trucks, man.
Hey there, Fred. Do me a favor. Look up Oswego, New York's average snowfall. I guarantee it beats that by a mile. We beat Canada, dude.
I'm just hearing belly aching for a guy who lives in a place where it snows a lot. That's all.
Oh, I know. Just like the typical Bear fans got to dismiss anything that a Packer fan says.
Ken's a little grumpy because he didn't get to sleep last night. He's a grumpy bear.
Yeah, it was a toss and turning last night.
I missed the beginning of this discussion. It sounds like a good one, though.
Oh, we were talking about blizzards.
Ken's complaining because there's snow in upstate New York.
Yes, that's what I'm complaining about is the snow. Not that you can't see literally anything. No.
See? He's complaining there's snow in upstate New York. I rest my case.
My model is F snow. Don't want to see it in pictures. Don't want to be around it. Don't want to live in it.
Broski, that's why I'm starting to listen more and more to my buddy there that lives in North Carolina about moving down there with him.
Dude, it's a great climate without being tropical like Florida. You know what I mean? It's like you still get 4 seasons and you don't get any snow.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a good chance they'll be wearing shorts and short sleeves on Christmas.
I like snow. I mean, living in it is one thing, but like that's why I like California, because if I want snow, I have the opportunity to go to it, but I don't have to live in it. You know, it's like if I want snow, I'll just take the kids to Tahoe for the weekend. You know.
Yeah.
So, any more dominoes fall this morning?
There is a slight domino. We found out what is holding up the Matt LaFleur contract. Apparently, it is not the money per year issue that they're locked in on that. It's how long the contract is. Green Bay only wants to give him a 1 to 2 year extension, and he wants a 5.
Of course.
And this is what's taking so long to get done.
So either they meet in the middle at 3, or it's not going to get worked out. Like,
yep. And the longer this takes, the more it's getting pushed towards he might be getting traded. And
Yeah,
I'm honestly 50-50 on it.
The longer this takes, the harder it's going to be to find the replacement you want.
Yeah, that's why I wish they'd hurry up and make a decision either way.
look, if like
Sorry, I mean,
for the Packers, if you're not sold on the dude, like you only want to give him a 1 or a 2 year extension, that means you're not sold on him. That means like you're like, you know, we don't want to commit to too long because we want to be able to fire you if things keep going this way, right? Like that should tell you right there. Like it's like sticking in a bad relationship. Like, you know, I want to break up with her, but like, you know, I don't want to not have a girlfriend, right? Like, it's like, dude, if the thought is in your mind to break up, it's over. You might as well just let it go, dude. Like, you know what I mean? And at least that's my opinion on the Packers. I think they should just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. It'll be better for everyone because LaFleur could go somewhere and start his preseason stuff early. The Packers can get into that coaching search right now while there's still good candidates out there.
Yeah, that's why I wish either just if that's the sticking point, either give him the 5 or trade him now. We got to have something here soon. You can't just keep sitting there trying to, oh, well, you know, maybe we can sit here and drag our feet and it'll eventually come to where, oh, we magically reach some kind of agreement. Hurry up and get this shit done either way. I'm tired of the whiff waffle.
You know who has all the leverage? Matt LaFleur.
Yep.
And I'll tell you why. Because every day that goes by, the Packers have less and less coaching candidates to choose from. Whereas, so if eventually, once all the guys get hired, if they haven't shit or get off the pot with LaFleur, now they're stuck with him and they have to give him what he wants, right? Like, it's if you're gonna the only way the Packers can gain any leverage back is to start looking at, you know, give them a my way or the highway deal. It's like, look, dude, you're either gonna take 2 years right now or we're gonna trade you, like.
Well,
You know?
yeah, but that becomes problematic though too, because then the other teams know that he's being problematic with the contract. They have to be willing to give him 5 years with what she wants. Or it's like, all right, trade me. I don't have to sign an extension with them. You know, it's just kind of the same deal with the player. You know, you've got the other teams. Well, why are you going to trade him all of a sudden? They said, well, we want to make sure we can sign the extension. Because remember that even with players, that's how it works. Like if they can't get the extension, they just don't do it.
Yeah, but I think there are other teams that would be willing to give him 5 years. Because, you know, coming in, he's probably not going to a contender. Like, maybe he could, but it's like he's probably going somewhere where they're going to need some work, so they might be a little more patient. They realize, like, hey, we're not going to be, you know, great our first year. Like, this is going to take some time.
Unless we end up seeing him going to the Steelers.
Or the Falcons.
Yeah, or the Falcons, because that'd be a damn attractive job.
Falcons are like a quarterback away, dude.
Couple teams are quarterback away.
Ah.
Minnesota's quarterback away.
I was gonna say, I don't know if the Falcons are a quarterback away because that guy might be on the roster.
Yeah, he might, but Penix needs to get his shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, he can't keep getting injured. Like, and it's not his fault, obviously, but it's like, you know.
Oh no, it's definitely his fault. He sees the guy coming at him and he sticks his leg out in front of him.
Oh my goodness.
It's definitely JJ McCarthy's fault that he keeps getting injured, though. When you're that level of soft, I mean, it's your fault.
Damn. He said soft. You remember life
Softer than
Eddie Murphy
Joe,
and Martin Lawrence?
softer than a pillow made of clouds.
Yeah, you remember that movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence? He's like, you're not gonna call me soft. He's like, I say soft.
Look out. He's not fishing. He's actually here. It's Fred.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm stuck at work. We're a little small again today.
Freddie.
Yeah, so like I said, I think that actually makes more of my point with the LaFleur thing. It's the only one I want to do 1-2 years, like I said earlier in the comments. It makes it hard for a new coach coming in to get, draft and everything else. He can't build the team that he wants. Obviously, I mean, he's got a great team to start with, but if he wants to make any changes, his hands are kind of tied for 2 years.
I mean, that's the other piece, though, Fred. That's like the longer this goes, the harder it gets because the more behind the power curve the new regime for both teams, in a case of a trade, gets. So if this goes past the Super Bowl, right? Which, if you think about, usually within a week of the Super Bowl ending, all the coaching vacancies are filled, right? I can't remember the last time it's gone more than a week past the Super Bowl to fill all the coaching vacancies.
Yeah, neither can I.
Because it's like you've got,
the combine 2 weeks later.
We got combine, but then you got the East-West game, whatever it is, that college. I mean, you got all that all the prep, the scouting departments, all this stuff that happens. Then the GM may be there, and that's good, but you want input from the coach. That's why like the Giants striking a $20 million a year deal with Harbaugh as quickly as they did is key to them because now you've got your head coach. He's going to have his defensive coordinator within a week or two, probably. He's going to fill his coaching staff pretty quick, but they're already working on the draft. And the good thing is, like with guys like Harbaugh, LaFleur, Stefanski, they've already got their pulse on it a little bit because obviously they've been in it for the last year. But like, if you make LaFleur and you're the Packers and you wait till 3 weeks from now, well, now you're 3 weeks behind the power curve from where you should be or could be. And if you're not doing anything with LaFleur, which I think they are, they're going through their pre-draft stuff already, you're setting yourself up for failure. So it's like either kind of like sign the guy or don't. Really,
Shit or get off the pot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it is. At this point of the year with coaches, dude, you don't got time to dilly-dally. Like, you could maybe take this week and get away with it, but
Oh yeah. By like Monday, Tuesday, I want a resolution to this, no matter what it is. I sincerely, at that point, I don't even care what the resolution is. Give me the damn resolution.
Because let's say you go the trade route and you decide next week, okay, we're going to trade them. That could take 2 or 3 weeks to do, or it could take a night.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, who would you want? I mean, who would you want right now? I mean, Harbaugh's pretty much written off. Tomlin already said he ain't coming out. I mean, who else would you really want right now?
Give me Mike
When is LaFleur's contract through?
Next year, that's it.
Okay.
But,
is there a void year in there?
Not that I know of. And but I would like Mike McDaniel because I love that guy's offense design. Kevin Stefanski for again the same reason, or to give me some continuity. You got all this talk about Hafley possibly being a head coach. fuck it, let's roll the dice at that one.
That one's harder though.
That one I know is a
Because
big gamble
Hafley-
too, though.
For Hafley, you have to fire him, and then you still have to go through all the wickets for the NFL with the Rooney Rule.
Mhm.
You couldn't just fire him and hire LaFleur, which is bullshit.
Well, I don't think you have to fire him. I think you can still just internally promote him, but you still have to do all the other stuff too.
Mhm.
yeah, you,
You have to do the Rooney Rule, even if it's an inside hire. Are you
I think
serious?
so.
That's kind of stupid. It's pretty freaking
that's
stupid for an inside hire.
I get the
It's more or less
idea
a
of the-
promotion.
Well, the idea of the Rooney Rule, I understand. Okay,
Mhm.
I get it, fine. But I agree with you guys. Like, if you're hiring from within, if you know that your current defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator or strength coach or whoever it's going to be is your guy, you want to be your next head coach when the current one leaves, you should just be able to promote from within. Say we're done. We used to be able to do that, but then the Rooney Rule happened. So now, even though everyone knows what say it would be Hafley, well, you gotta go ahead and you interview Joe. And hope he counts. Oh wait, nope, maybe not so much. Okay, well Ken doesn't count and Broski doesn't count. Well, shit. Oh, I know. We'll go find some random defensive coordinator from some 2A school and give him an interview because he meets the Rooney Rule. And then we'll say, yeah, he just wasn't going to be a fit and hire our guy anyway.
Yeah, no shit. He wasn't going to be a fit. You went way outside the possible freaking realm.
Yeah, but, I mean, but
And Fred, if this has anything to do with it, I'm going to lose my freaking shit. I don't care about the Ben Johnson, Matt LaFleur rivalry. If that influences the decision one way or another, I'm going to go fucking nuts.
yeah, look at the rivalry is there, and like even with the Bears, it didn't influence whether or not we hired Ben Johnson or fired Matt Eberflush or whatever. I mean, it's something that's more for the fans. I mean, for those who remember when we had a certain tight end from a certain team that starts with a C, ends with an O, and has Hickog in the middle, and we asked him about the rivalry, he looked us straight up and said, "No, we don't even care. As players, we don't even track it. It's not a thing to them. It's more." He goes, he told us straight up, "It's more for you guys," and he's not wrong. Right?
Well,
I mean,
that can also be how he personally feels, and that because we've heard
I
other
know.
we've heard other players say that
Well,
the rivalry you got the writing everywhere on it.
Certain players are always going to say that, though, but it's not the. more
Well,
the
they
point
did
that
have a
it's not
nice
the reason-
pregame dust up amongst the players this last playoff game. They
It's
were all
not
getting
the
together,
reason
pushing
why
and
you-
shoving.
It's not the reason why you hire, fire, or sign someone. Put it that way. That's what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
It sells great drama. The players get amped up a little bit for it because the fans amp them up for it, right? But like if you're Green Bay, you're not gonna keep LaFleur or fire LaFleur because of Ben Johnson's there and what's happened the last year. I mean, look, I get it. You guys are, in the last 2 years now, more like with Caleb, you're now 2-3 against Caleb Williams. You're 1-2 against Ben Johnson. The tide is shifting. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll see next year. You got 2 more games to play. That's not the whole reason why you file LaFleur. I mean, LaFleur, look, he got you to the playoff.
Yeah, that plays a bit of a role, but it's a small one. The major part of it is that we have now gone in to the postseason 2 years in a row on losing streaks.
Yeah. I mean, that's the more salient point on the whole
For somebody that was just Mr. December all the way until then, hadn't lost a December game, was just banging them out of the park, and then all of a sudden it's like he switched and started batting with his feet or something.
But I mean, and to his defense, I hate to actually defend Matt LaFleur here, but I'm going to. You lose Micah Parsons, you lose the rest of your offensive line. You got hit with injuries, and but your backups, next man up. They're backup, like I've been saying for years. Backups are backups for a reason. And in some cases, you get a 1A, 1B scenario like the Bears have right now at that left tackle, and looked into at the linebacking core. 2 places that Broski and I would tell you that if you'd have told us that at the beginning of the year, we would have looked at you like, Are you sure about that? But it kind of panned out for us.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
but the
but you can't-
49ers sure aren't using that as an excuse. You know what I mean?
No.
The backups are backups excuse.
Mhm.
But sometimes the backups are good, and sometimes the backups. I mean, there's a reason. You know what I mean? So I mean, I get it, but like when Micah Parsons goes down, your backup and Micah Parsons are usually a good stretch of land apart in terms of talent, skill, and ability. You know, I mean, you're talking about one of the best guys in the league and what he does. It's kind of like when Max Crosby goes down, his backup's nowhere close to as
Yeah.
good as Max Crosby. You know, so I mean, LaFleur's got a little wiggle room for that, but I just think it's funny that they're in this dilemma, and then now at this time it's Ed Policy, and now Goody's looking at Policy, going, yeah, now you know how it feels, right? Because this is where I was with Jordan Love, like, how much do I give of a contract and an extension do I give him? Yeah, now you're feeling it. Except with LaFleur, you've got like 5-6 years of what he's done.
Good
What I
morning.
want to know, like,
Morning.
are the Packers seriously considering getting rid of Rashawn Gary?
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
What I think it's going to be is they're going to ask him to take a drastic pay cut, and if he doesn't, then we will cut him because of the immense amount of cap savings and how this guy has had this huge billing for so long, but has never even hit double-digit sacks.
Just restructure them. Do it the easy way.
That's what we're going to try.
And also, look, once Parsons went down, Gary disappeared on that defense.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's more of what it was talking about, because look at that little stretch when the whole defense disappeared. One game we'd have AQM show up, and then we'd have Hutchinson.
Well, you go from double and triple teaming Micah to now Rashawn Gary gets it all. So I mean, he goes from single coverage to double and triple coverage all of a sudden. It's like, yeah, he's going to drop off. Right?
And don't forget that drop off started well before Gary was even injured.
Yeah.
That's
Parsons.
that's what I meant.
Yeah, I mean, teams made adjustments to the Packers defense as the season went on, because then you start to get more film. Speaking of film, I know the Bears watched a lot of film of the Rams this week. Broski, we got us a big game on Sunday while the Packers are trying to figure out if they have a head coach or not.
We sure as heck do, man. I hope they're watching a lot of film, because they're going to have a lot of different looks thrown at them. One of the things I'm curious to see is, if you look at the end of the season, the last handful of games for the Rams, Davante Adams was banged up, and didn't play in a lot of those games. The Rams went to that 13 personnel, not 12 personnel, but 13 personnel. They really want to keep Stafford untouched, like more so than normal for most teams. They really have an emphasis on keeping the pocket clean for him. So I'm curious to see, like, I don't want to say having Davante Adams back is making the Rams worse of a team, or worse of an offense, but that 13 personnel looks so good when they were running it with those three tight ends, man. Like, it really did. And they were running that football so good. So what I'm curious to see is how often they use that against the Bears, factoring in the weather, etc.
Well, for them with Davante, the way they've been using Puka and Davante has been kind of predictable in a way. Puka's between the 20s, Davante's in the red zone. And that makes sense. Davante's a big dude, right? He's a big-bodied receiver, so it makes sense. And then they'll get Davante on a stretch every so often. That's the thing they can do. They can stretch with Davante and Puka, which is nice. And the Bears can do that too with like Luther and Rome, for example. But then you've got, Stafford's got the hurt hand. How hurt it is, I don't know. He's got full practice. I don't know how hurt.
It is also his non-throwing hand, from what I understand, not his throwing.
No,
hand.
it was his throwing hand.
Is it?
I watched the game. What he hurt it on a follow through, and he hit some guy's helmet.
So the same thing that happens to a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah,
and it could be as simple as a bone
he
bruise.
hasn't had before, but it's how bad is it? And then could it get aggravated with the weather? Because look at we all us older guys know that with injuries on cold days, those knees that had torn ACLs tend to be a little more achy. Or Ken in his back on a cold day is like, oh no, because the cold weather affects the injuries. So that's going to be, who knows how that affects it.
I have a question outside of the games because I saw something and I need it confirmed. The Ravens just hired Kevin Stefanski because my phone died when I saw it.
I didn't see that yet this morning, and I was checking stuff.
Great hire, if that's the case.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because they need an offensive-minded head coach, not a special teams coach that think he can run an offense. I saw it on IG just a little bit ago before my phone died because I forgot to plug it in last night. And
I'll stand on it, man. The Ravens, the Steelers, the Packers, the Patriots, the 49ers. Those are the best run organizations in the NFL over the last 30 years, pretty much. They really are. They got their stuff together, man.
I haven't been able to.
Yeah, I haven't.
And actually, I'll throw the Eagles into that mix too. They're part of that club now.
I'm not seeing anything. All I see from Sports Illustrated 30 minutes ago is that Lamar Jackson's contract situation.
And Twitter's been having problems this morning, but I've seen nothing from Adam Schefter.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything that confirms it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just saw it on IG like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, I got to ask.
Hey, Ken, Packer fan, Ken. I just want to know: have we seen the end of Toyota-thon Jordan Love?
No, we have not. We will have Toyota-thon again.
Robert Saleh just interviewed with the Dolphins yesterday. Interesting.
Yeah, the Dolphins are interviewing a lot of defensive guys.
It makes sense. Yep. I mean, I would.
Thank you, Daniel. I just got my phone up and I asked Google and it said no. So it's fake news as usual on Instagram. AI created BS.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. I haven't seen anything on that yet. I mean,
don't know if I'm the Dolphins. I don't know if I want a defensive-minded coach.
Well, I mean, but sometimes that's the reaction, though. If you had an offensive-minded coach and things didn't go well. And usually it's because if the defense wasn't going well with that coach, they'll tend to, and then when they get the defensive coach and the offense isn't going that great, then they want the offensive coach. I mean, if you look at the Bears, man, we go offense, defense. Now we have a offensive-minded coach again. At some point, be it 3 years from now, 5 years, 8 years from now, when Ben Johnson's like, okay, we're moving on from Ben Johnson, whatever that is, they'll probably go to a defensive-minded coach only because he's an offensive-minded coach. I mean, more times than not, that's what happens. I mean, you do see you go from offense to offense. I don't know. Would you consider Harbaugh an offensive-minded coach or a defensive-minded coach?
Didn't he come up through special teams?
Coach.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. So and then you get the guys like that. So so the Giants went from an offensive-minded coach to a guy who came in the special teams world. I don't know if you consider more offensive or defensive minded, but they usually want to get away from what they just had. And so I think with the Steelers, like people are talking about like some of these guys for the Steelers, oh, he'd be a great fit, defensive minded coach. They just had a defensive minded coach. Cowher was an offensive minded coach, wasn't he? So kind of same thing. It's a weird thing. All I know is no Bears coaches have been interviewed because, well, it's taboo at House Hall right now, and for good reason. Going back to the actual games we're going to be playing this weekend, the cold weather is going to be interesting with some of those injuries. Like Rome's got the foot. It'll be interesting for Devontae, like guys with hamstring injuries. This cold weather is going to be interesting because any kind of injury is going to be exacerbated. They're saying this could be one of the coldest, if not the coldest, playoff games in history of the league.
Who else hired a coach? I know we know New York hired a coach. Who else hired a coach?
Only one coach.
Yeah.
So this might be, with the wind chill, especially the coldest playoff game in history of the league. That's going to exacerbate some injuries for both teams. For Rome, his foot, for Devontae, and guys with these groin injuries, and there seems to be a lot of that this year. It's going to exacerbate some injuries. So it's going to be, I think this game, I don't know how you get away from it not being a running game, especially with the wind whipping and everything else. I see a lot of run, but these are two quarterbacks that can zip the ball in there, and we've seen them throw in bad conditions.
Yeah, with a chance of snow even.
Another thing that cold does is hits just hurt more when it's that cold, dude. Like it's I don't know what it is, but helmets crack and
You know what? You know what I feel really sorry for, Joe? Kickers.
Oh yeah, with the
Because
wind.
kicking that
kicking a
football,
cinder block.
yeah,
That's
that's what I was gonna say. You might
block.
also just queue up a cinder block, man, because a cinder block might be soft.
Dude. This is where I think the Bears have an advantage though, because Cairo's used to kicking a cinder block at this time of the year.
Cornelius.
Like the kicking
And
game
he's
could
used to
be
the wind.
important. And the wind
he's used-
inside that stadium, the kicking game could be important, dude.
Yeah, Broski, we've talked about in the past, over the last year or so, we've talked about bringing in someone else with maybe a longer leg than Cairo. To be honest, man, especially after the last couple of weeks, I am very happy we have not moved on from Cairo Santos.
I mean, Cairo, he knows how to kick in the weather. I mean, I would still like them to find a kicker going forward that can hit from 55, 60 yards. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to knock Cairo. And dude, I've called him the team MVP for the last 2 seasons leading up to this one. So, yeah, definitely not going to rip the guy, but and you're right. He does know how to kick in the wind, man. He really does, which not too many kickers do. Shout out McManus.
Hey, but look, I'll give McManus some credit because in week 16, he did a good job in the weather. It's unfortunate for him and the Packers that he couldn't figure it out in the playoff game. But week 16, he kicked pretty good in Chicago. I mean, he was perfect in Chicago that game, wasn't he? I believe so. Dude, it's a rough place to kick, Chicago. I mean, most of these outdoor stadiums are pretty hard, especially ones off big bodies of water. When that wind comes ripping off the sound or the lake, or so like if you kick in Seattle, you better know how to adjust the windage.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Like if you kick in Detroit, everything's perfect. You're in a dome. If you kick in Minnesota, you're in a dome. These outdoor kickers, you can, and that's I mean, you're in LA. You not only are used to warm weather, but you kick in a dome. And now you got to kick in Chicago where you're kicking a cinder block. Oof.
So that's another reason why I don't have San Francisco winning in Seattle, is because if they get stopped before the red zone and have to depend on the kicking game, the wind coming off the sound makes a difference there.
Yeah, but San Francisco is not an easy place to kick though either. So I mean, I get what you're saying, JB. I'm not going to poo-poo that, but I mean, I think it's mitigated more with you got 2 outdoor kickers. Maybe, he's not used to kicking with the wind off the sound as much, but dude, San Francisco is a pretty windy place too, isn't it?
Isn't it San Francisco 4-0?
Santa Clara is Santa Clara is not San Francisco. Like when they used to have to kick a candlestick, because it was on the point, you would have the swirling wind like you get in Chicago. But Santa Clara, the winds aren't as bad, but it's not swirling as much. Yeah, it's further inland.
I don't know.
That was a big advantage for San Francisco when they used to play at the stick, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Seattle might be in trouble though. Fucking isn't Niners like 4-0 versus the Seahawks?
But no, they're not 4-0 versus the Seahawks this year.
They lost in week 17.
They lost in week 18.
Yeah, they lost.
Low scoring game, but I mean the thing is, like, you got 2 outdoor kickers, so it's not as bad as if, let's say, they were playing the Rams and their kicker who just kicks indoors all day. I mean, honestly, like the Dome Stadium idea, you get why they're doing it. I get why Chicago is doing it, because you get Super Bowls and WWE events and monster trucks and concerts and conventions and all kinds of crazy ways to make money in the off season. That's why they're doing domes. I mean, look, I like the idea of football and the elements like we're going to see in Chicago on Sunday. I mean, it's old school. It's how football is played.
If most stadiums go to freaking domes, to me, it's a slight death of football. Because to me, that's what real football is out in the weather shit.
Yeah, out in
For
the
sure, and I'm
elements.
glad the Bills' new stadium is outdoor. That's a
the
good
Bills
thing.
are staying outdoors.
Packer fan
but,
Ken, I wanted to ask you something before we get too far away from it. I was going to ask you, we were talking about contracts, we were talking about Gary. What about Van Ness? Because they have to decide if they're going to pick up his fifth-year option
they're
before.
most likely picking up his fifth-year option.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Cincinnati or not Cincinnati.
Rashawn Gary Bears.
Cleveland's going to a dome. They're going to a dome. Chicago's going to go to a dome. I'm telling you what, it's going to be at some point. It's going to become a massive advantage when you get, more dome teams. And you got teams like Buffalo and Green Bay that stay outside, and you got to go there in January.
That's exactly why I never want a freaking dome out here.
But at the same time, I want to push back a little bit. Harrison Mevis, this is his first year kicking indoors. He kicked 4 years outdoors at his college in the Midwest.
I just think the fan experience is different too. Being in an outdoor stadium is so much fucking greater than being in an indoor stadium. You know what I mean? I've been to different ones, and just being in an outdoor stadium, the atmosphere just totally changes.
But kicking in
nothing
college,
like Gary Freezer, bro.
college season's over before the weather gets that bad, though.
Mm-hmm. They get frostbite in fucking Buffalo.
Hey, and I'll just say I give props to all those fans in Buffalo and Green Bay and Chicago who are going to be at those games this weekend, freezing their ass off, dude.
Hey, beer,
nuts, dude.
Bears fans already come equipped. They're running downing Malorts before the game, so they're nice and warm.
It's like everyone's got they wait for the hot cocoa guy to come by, and they got their flash to spike the hot cocoa. I mean, that's the way it works. But it's funny because as they do the pass the cup, I think this game is gonna be cold enough. If you're in the middle of the row and you're waiting for the hot chocolate guy to show up, by the time the hot chocolate gets to you in the middle of the row, it'll be frozen solid.
Or empty.
My buddy went to the recent recent Bears game, and he said that one of their future drinks right now is the Malort Slurpee. You know what I mean? Where people are just downing them, and it's and they're warm throughout the game.
I mean, Steve, that's the thing though. But I think the Bears are looking at building isn't going to be retractable. They want it to be. It's kind of like LA did the non-retractable. I like the retractable idea because you can have elements. But here's the thing though. When you get a bad element day, they close the damn thing anyway. And that's why, the Bears, I think, went with a non-retractable because, they never open it. They never open it. All the, it's why the second the weather's bad, close the dome.
Yeah, but that's you're missing out on an advantage. If it was me, I'd be like, "Oh, bad weather, open the fucking dome, baby."
I'm with you, but how often have we seen them do that, though? I mean.
Especially playing a warm weather team.
They would save it for the playoffs, probably. Yeah. They would do it all protected all year and then playoff time.
Miami's coming to town, open the fucking dome, baby.
Yep, exactly.
But at the same time, most of these indoor ones, they have even the ones that do use real grass, like Arizona, think about it this way. Why do they keep it closed in inclement weather? Because when it gets cold or when it gets wet, that turf, the grass, becomes crap because it's sitting on top of cement with less drainage.
Yeah, DeMarco Farr. Go ahead.
Well, I was saying, if you watch with the building technology, and if you haven't watched National Geographic, they got the special on Barcelona's soccer stadium. It took them 5 years to rehab it, and they built this thing where it's got a retractable roof. They grow the grass in the stadium. And even with that, Jeremy, when they show that, I mean, even it doesn't just sit on the concrete like it used to. There's depth to it, is what I'm saying. It's not like it's grass, then the concrete's right there. There's some depth to it. And with the technology these guys have to even grow the grass, because the thing with the stadium in Arizona, they literally wheel the grass outside, and it's grown outside and wheeled in, right? Now they can actually literally grow it underneath the freaking stadium.
Oh yeah,
and bring it up. So you can get in a situation with a dome team like that. If you're going to open the dome, they can bring the grass up like 4 hours before kickoff, right?
So,
and then open the
yeah.
roof, right? So that maybe 2 hours before kickoff or an hour before kickoff, the roof is fully open and go. And I don't think that the it wouldn't be as bad because obviously you're retaining more warmth in the stadium. I mean, but the teams that could do it now already don't. Like, people don't realize, like, Atlanta's a retractable dome roof. That dome opens, and I don't think the Falcons had opened at all this year. The only thing that opens it's their damn soccer team.
Dallas too. Dallas new stadium can open and close.
Well, they can open like Lucas on the one end of the end zone. They can open up all the windows, and Lucas. At Lucas Oil, they do open the end zone windows from time. And I think, doesn't Allegiant have the same thing, right? They can open the windows on one end of the stadium.
Dallas roof is
I like
actually
that concept.
Dallas's roof, like, they choose to close it most of the time, but Dallas can actually open all the way. They just don't really do it much. But,
I've never seen the roof in Dallas open. I've seen the windows open.
They opened it halfway. They opened it halfway. But anyways, DeMarco Farr, I listen to him constantly on the radio, and he talks about cold weather games. He said that everything hurts. Like, imagine running into a fire hydrant. You know what I mean? That's how cold it is. Like, everything hurts. The grass hurts. Like, the ball getting thrown to you hurts. Barely getting blocked hurts. He said, like, everything. So that's what players go through during the elements.
And let's not forget, in the cold weather games, defensive players get hurt at the same time as the offensive players because it hurts them just as bad to make those.
And that's why they're going to domes, and that's what makes this game this weekend. I mean, this game this weekend in Chicago exemplifies why they're going to domes. We as fans may not like it because it's not old school, but for everything you guys were just saying about how players don't like it, how they get hurt, and defensive players get hurt quickly with offensive players. The ball is hard as a cinder block, so the kickers are breaking their feet. It hurts to catch the ball, or it hurts to run with the ball. It hurts to even just basically walk on the field at this point. Well, look with player safety being what it is, I am not surprised that everyone's trying to go to a dome stadium for the most part. Even when you look, I think Highmark is going to be interesting because they're heating the field, they're heating the seats. I'm wondering how that's going to mitigate the weather at all for the players and the fans with all the heating elements they put in the field. They're putting in the field and in the stands, right? I don't know how much that mitigates it. Like, it might mitigate falling to the ground hurting a little bit, but I
like how, like, warm weather,
like a tournament, make like a tournament, like the Final Four, right? There you go.
I like how warm weather football, like, players come in to, like, cold weather games and they try to take their shirts off and prove how tough they are, and they drop the ball like all game.
And what they didn't realize, like, back in the day when they watched Urlacher when it was like 20 degrees out, and here comes Urlacher in short sleeves, they didn't realize he had about 2 inches of Vaseline on his arm.
And don't forget, he also had fucking Viagra that he was taking too.
I think the best
fucking arteries and shit.
I think the best was Bud Grant when he came out in a t-shirt and it was like negative something degrees in Minnesota.
I mean, but that's why they're going to domes. I mean, this game Sunday, look at the weather's going to affect the game, right? It's who deals with the weather. And I think that's the other reason why you're going to a dome, because, like, you could argue in some cases, sometimes the better team loses because of the weather, not because of the game itself. Like, they're a better football team, but the weather negates their being better at football in a weird way of saying it. But I mean, so that's why we're seeing more domes. This game this weekend, look at Bears-Rams. It was already going to be a good game. Now you add this weather component to it. I think it definitely makes it tougher on the Rams, especially like Stafford's hand with that. Oh, he's going to be trying to keep that thing as warm as possible. Because if it starts to get super cold, that hand injury on his throwing hand is going to be exacerbated. It's going to be even harder for him to throw the ball in these bad conditions.
Brady, it's also a 40% chance of snow too. So with that 40% chance of snow, it means that you have a lot better chance of dropping the ball, fumbles. I mean, all of that. And the Bears have had how many takeaways this year? I mean, it's going to be really good for them compared to the Rams.
I hope it's a fucking blizzard. I want a blizzard game.
Yeah,
Dude.
hell yeah.
I
That'd be
do.
awesome.
I agree.
We haven't
I
seen
do.
a good blizzard game since that Green Bay Niners game. Like
Oh, last year,
Yeah.
dude.
the NFC Championship
Who won that
game.
game?
Remember?
Who won that game?
Oh, what about
No.
oh
I
that
don't.
Bills
won
game.
that game?
Remember that Bills game? It was just a complete
Oh, yeah, the Bills
blizzard.
game
Like,
was good.
yeah, they kept switching cameras because the snow was just overcoming the camera.
Yeah.
Took Viagra for
No, I'm serious. A lot of players would take Viagra before those cold games because it would
yeah.
open up the blood vessels. That's why it's outlawed now.
what
Chad
Brady
Johnson,
said he used to do. What Brady said
Chad
he used
Johnson
to
plants his dick in the turf to make his cuts.
do. What Brady said he used to do, he used to in his pockets, he used to throw 4 or 5 of those hot packs
Mhm.
and just keep his hands
No.
warm all the time.
That wasn't Chad Johnson. That was AB. He's the one with the sexual misappropriation.
Can you imagine? I mean, I know like NFL's allowing touchdown celebrations. Can you imagine Terrell Owens celebrations now?
Oh my god!
I mean, that's happening regardless. This whole stadium deal with Chicago. And look, I don't think the stadium deal with the Bears, it's not affecting the team on the field. This is more of a front office thing. The players, they're like, whatever, we're going to play wherever we play. Wherever the stadium's built years from now, if we're still here, we'll worry about it then. But for the
Yeah.
Bears, this whole thing with the stadium, it's just politics. It's not like, here's the thing. The Bears own the land in Arlington Heights. The city of Arlington Heights is like, we'll give you all the breaks we need to give you in order to get this done. The county and the state are basically going, read between the lines, F you, we're not giving you jack nor shit. We're not going to improve the area around it at all. We're not going to do any of the infrastructure work. If you guys want the roads and the water to be better, you're paying for it, not the state, even though it's our responsibility. And then we're going to give you 0 tax breaks to build this multi-billion-dollar project in the county, right? And create all these jobs. And I say multi-billion because it's not just a stadium, but they're going to be building shops and hotels and all kinds of other stuff along with this. And we're going to give you 0 tax breaks for it. So, and here's the thing: the Bears aren't even going, hey, give us $200 million or whatever to help build this thing. They're like, we'll fund the stadium itself out of pocket. We'll do it ourselves. We own the land. We don't mind being on the hook for the entire stadium. We're going to own the whole thing, a la the LA Rams, right? Just give us the tax breaks. That's all we're asking for at this point. Give us tax breaks so that to release our tax burden as we put all this money into the community. And they're saying, no, suck it. And they're like, okay, well, hey, Gary, Indiana, governor of Indiana, what do you say? He's like, we'll give you the land. We'll give you all the tax breaks you want. We'll do all the infrastructure work you could ever want and then some. And then if you want for Hallis Hall and new practice facilities, yeah, we'll give you everything you need for that too, for free. And they're going, well, hey, Illinois, Gary, right across the border, literally in the Chicago metropolitan area, is going to give us everything. And Illinois is like, yeah, we don't have time for you. We need to go fight the president's immigration policy. That's basically what's going on there, right? I mean, so at the end of the day, when the Bears end up moving to Gary, Indiana, at this rate, it sounds like it's going to, the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois will have no one to blame but their own damn selves. All you got to do is give them tax breaks. And I don't understand this. Like any city, if you have an NFL franchise or an NHL franchise, NBA, whatever, and they want a new stadium, and the team is like, look, we have the land, we're going to fund the stadium, just give us a tax break. Why would you say no?
Just throw a Jordan logo on.
No?
Just throw a Jordan logo on the Bears jersey, and they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll give you a tax break."
I mean, think about this. And look at Isaac, you're a tax guy. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're going to give them a tax break. Why would you say no to that for the state? Because you're still going to generate tons of revenue, even with the tax break.
Yeah, I mean, I would allow it. Shoot, I mean, it gives more money to the city, and I mean, not only the city but to the state. So why not? Get that extra revenue. Don't let another state take your money. Basically, that's what's happening here.
Well, come on. When you got a battle of the egos, you can't back down at all.
Right.
Because that's what this shit is. It's just a pissing competition at this point.
See, the other thing is, like, if you say hypothetically, and in most now it's maybe becoming realistically that you guys are moving into Indiana. Bears, I mean, Chicago is still gonna find a way, or Illinois is still trying to gonna find a way to get revenue out of the team because copyrights, this contracts, blah blah blah. There's so many different contracts that are signed. It's not just a stadium contract. There's rights. There's all types of crap. Like that's the messy thing. A part of this.
But Isaac, if they move the stadium and House Hall to Gary, Indiana, Gary / Stanley, think about it.
Yeah.
The stadium's now in Indiana. The practice facilities and offices are in Indiana. They're going to incorporate everything in Indiana. They pay no Illinois state tax on anything. No more jock tax from players because guess what? They live in Indiana now too. They're not going to live up in Lake Forest 2 hours away from the practice facility. You know, they're going to want to live closer to the stadium. So right now, most of the players live in either not even in the city, they live in the northwest burbs in Cook and Lake County, right?
Yeah.
It's all border there. But now, if you move the stadium to Gary, they're going to move the Hammond or outlying areas I mean, those areas on the border, Illinois side, south side there aren't some of the best. I don't think you're going to see too many players live on the Illinois side because, well, taxes are going to be more favorable for them on the Indiana side, property tax, employment tax, all that other crap. Illinois is going to lose money over everything. Naming rights, they get to name themselves Chicago Bears because they're still in the Chicago metropolitan area. I don't know if the state or the city makes any money off of that, but everything else,
shit. If I'm them and you force me to move, I'm so changing the name at that point just to stick it in your craw.
No, they'll remain the Chicago Bears, just like the Jets and the Giants are still New York, just like the Niners are still San Francisco, even though they're in Santa Clara. Gary, it's right on the border, Steve. It's like you cross the bridge,
and then you're in Gary.
No, you cross the bridge, you're in Gary.
Yeah, but with the traffic in Chicago at the half hour.
It's like New York, it's like New York, New Jersey.
The second you cross the bridge, you're in Gary.
I know.
So, like, if you're in the south suburbs, it can be like a 5 to 10 minute drive. It just depends on the Sky Bridge. If you take the Sky Bridge,
right?
But I'm not that bad. But if you're coming from the northwest suburbs, dude, you're going from, let's say, on game day, maybe it takes you an hour or two to get to the stadium. Well, now you got to go from the northwest burbs. You got to go all the way through the city to the Sky Bridge. So you got to drive through downtown to catch the Sky Bridge. And so you're talking, the traffic's going to add another hour.
Yeah, traffic's going to be insane.
Yeah.
I get that.
So it'll affect the fans from the northwest suburbs, but now you're going to pick up people from the Notre Dame area, from South Bend, Hammond. They're all going to start going to Bears games. So you're going to kind of make up for that. And once again, the state of Illinois is going to be the one losing all the money.
Like, might be cheaper. Pretty easy for take a boat ride.
Yeah, you'll get some.
Drop right out the stadium.
Ferry services will pop up from the city. I'm sure. Yeah, they'll do stuff like that. They'll make a thing out of it. But and look, there are a lot of Bears fans in that part of Indiana and that part of Michigan, in the lower southwest corner of Michigan. A lot of those folks that like live in Michigan City work in Chicago and commute every day to the cities. So there's still Bears fans in those areas. Organically,
I'm still seeing lots of Bear fans here. I'm still seeing lots of Bear fans here. I'm seeing a lot more of them this year.
Well, yeah, they're doing it.
I think what's the name? Bill does his trucking routes there. You can just hop on the back of his truck to get to the stadium.
So Gary, though, it's not that far. It's right there. But now you figure the state and the state's losing. The state and the county are the ones who are going to lose because the city was going to lose anyways, but the city was still going to get residual off of Arlington Heights, right? Hotels, tourism, this, that, and the other.
You nailed something earlier. What you said, Ken. Like if they move their headquarters over there to Indiana, because I don't know if Indiana shares this or Illinois shares this, but there's convenience of employer rule, which is where you're basically are headquartered at, and that's where you're taxed. So, California has a convenience of an employer rule. I don't know if Indiana and Illinois share that, but if they do,
if they build a stadium in Gary, Hallis Hall is in the upper northwest suburbs. I mean, you're talking, it's up near Naval Station, Great Lakes. It's north of the city a good hour.
But here's why I bring that
So
up.
you wouldn't.
Because
That's where the practice facilities are, and most of the players live. So why are you going to have your practice facilities in your headquarters 2 to 3 hour commute from your stadium?
There's also though some states do the marketing rule. It's where you're marketed at. You know what I mean? That you could be taxed at. So that's why I mean I have to look it up between the states. If it's a marketing
but-
rule, Illinois can still get a piece of the pie off the
Well,
Bears.
they might get a little bit of money, but
Yeah.
okay. I mean, they're getting now they're getting 3 cents versus $1. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in the overall scheme of things, like, yeah, they might get a little chump change, like they'll do absolutely nothing. The state of Indiana is the one that's going to win this by a huge margin because they're going to end up moving Hallis, and so it's all those, and then the jobs. Now you got all these people living in Northwest Indiana that will be working for the Bears at the stadium, right? All the stadium employees, all the other employees that maybe work at the new Hallis Hall. Plus, now you're going to have communities that are going to build up because, well, players are going to move out that way. I mean, you're going to build up that whole Gary Hammond area is going to explode.
Make Gary great again.
Go through a renaissance.
Make
So
Gary great again.
I looked up Indiana.
Hey, my dog Gary's already great. Damn it.
Indiana does not have a convenience and employer rule. Let me look up Illinois.
So I mean, this doesn't affect what's going to happen this weekend for the Bears, but it definitely, Illinois. Look at they got to get their heads out their ass.
Fucking Steve's been on point with the jokes today.
Abraham Lincoln was born in Indiana too, so.
So wait, does that mean when they score a touchdown, a professional wrestling match is going to take place?
Yeah, there you go. So I mean, it has no bearing on the game this weekend, but I mean, for the Bears' future, yeah, it does. And I think the state of Illinois is being stupid. Look how much money they're making off the state's making from this playoff game this weekend, and the city for that matter. And you're going to get rid of the county, and you're going to jettison all that because you don't want to give them a tax break to build the stadium. I mean, you know what? The Bears have done everything they possibly can to not only stay in the city, they gave them a whole extra year to figure it out, and the city couldn't do anything. So they said, well, then we're going to go to the land that we actually own in Arlington Heights. And now the county and the state are like, well, hold our beer. We'll try to mess it up too. Like, how stupid is Chicago? How stupid is Cook County? How stupid is Governor Pritzker in the state of Illinois? They have to be the dumbest freaking politicians on the face of the planet that you're going to lose one of the most history franchises in sports because you refuse to give them tax breaks when they build their new stadium.
Yeah, for what it is, pretty petty overall. Like you said, like Ken said earlier, there's just ego. It's all ego right now.
Yep.
We're just trying to have a power move here.
If the Packers want a new stadium and they said, hey, we already own the land, don't need to worry about that. We're going to fund the whole stadium with our own internal money. We're not asking you to give us a couple $100 million to build it. Just give us tax breaks. If the state of Wisconsin said no, they would be pitchforks and torches outside that state capitol the next day.
Yep. Be the New Hampshire
I think
Packers.
that if Packers want a new stadium.
No, they're going to be the
I think if Packers want a new stadium, fans,
Montana
fans
Packers
would be losing their mind first.
Hey, don't be moving them further away from me.
But you know what I mean, though? It's like the stupidity of the government in Illinois. Thank God that doesn't affect the actual football team. It's going to be a great game this weekend. We have some fun games to watch tomorrow. I'm looking forward to watching football this weekend. I mean, I want to see how Buffalo does. That's going to be a fun game. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, and then poor Arlington Heights, like they're willing to do everything they possibly can, and it's the state and the county. So
I know. Didn't they start building a stadium in Arlington Heights?
No, they haven't broken ground yet. They own the land, but they haven't broken ground. Now that guy's we're out of time today. JB's up next here in a few seconds. Enjoy the games this weekend. We'll be back Monday morning talking about recapping the games from the weekend and any coaching hiring, stadium moves or otherwise. You guys have a great weekend. Bear down.
Go back, go.
Yeah, the Packers are done.
What Isaac said. Go Pack, go.
One pride.
They're done.